Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode. Yes, you must be wondering why I'm wearing a sweater. We are still in August, but actually, you're probably not wondering that, but I am wearing one. It's unfortunate, but it's true. It's that type of weather in Berlin. It's gloomy, which also is reflecting in my mood, unfortunately, because if you've been following the news, you might have seen that the news of the world of football I'm talking about, that Cristiano Ronaldo is in advanced talks to go to Manchester City. Oh, dagger to my heart. Yeah, it's by the way, it's just me today. Ben is off in Odense for a conference. Uh, all the same, I feel like I need some alone time to let this information sink in. But lots of big news from the world of football, and always, actually, lots of news from the world of tech as well. It's just me doing the show today, so bear with me while I load up things, but I'm going to kick it off with news from Madrid, actually, and I'm going to talk about Real Madrid specifically. Now, as part of the Cristiano Ronaldo deal, there's been a lot of talk about Mbappe going to Madrid, a couple of bids in. People are going nuts in Paris, of course, when Messi's gone there. Maybe Ronaldo might actually go to Paris. I would love that to happen. But all of this transfer rigmarole is on one side. What Real Madrid are also doing on the other side is apparently launching their own streaming service, which is pretty straightforward and actually something that I imagine that a lot of football teams are going to do, which is basically they're going to convert Real Madrid TV, which is their digital terrestrial television, the DTT service, into an OTT service, into their streaming service, which I think is a fair idea. They're apparently looking for $8 million euros. Sorry. So if anybody has some change lying around, you can help them out. And they're going to make this part of their big plan of centralizing content production. They're creating a Real Madrid digital factory. Launch a lot of interesting services, you can imagine. They're partnering with a company called Cinedigm to make all of this available in the US. But this also comes on the heels, this article talks about the Real Madrid's rejection of the CVC deal, which we have spoken about before. It's not really news for us. But why it's also relevant is because you can imagine that the deal with Mbappe will be important for content that Real Madrid will put out on their new channel, right? Interesting news. Lots of layers to every single piece of information. All right, with that one done, I'm going to go into the next story. And that is actually from Catapult. Now, you might know this thing loads up. Catapult is a service that provides amateurs or fitness professionals with really interesting data about anything that they do, right? Any action that they perform. I'm sure you've seen it. These little vests that they wear with the GPS tracker on the back. Now, this is now apparently available for everyone through Catapult's monthly subscription program. So anybody who wants can buy one of these vests with these trackers. It's not cheap. So this is the launch of the new Catapult tracking vest. They do it for everybody in the sports world. They're one of the biggest companies out there, along with Stat Sports and others. I'm going to look for the prices. Yeah, they have a video which you can check out. That's how the vest goes into the on your back, and it's recording all this data. We'll skip past the video and get to the pricing. Now, the pricing is going to be $16 per month, plus there's a one-time payment of $34. So it's not exactly cheap. Not too expensive, but it's not exactly cheap. But also there's an annual payment plan of $180, which you can get the whole thing for. So it's something that's I think worth looking into. I mean, it's part of a mega trend that we've actually been looking at for a while. In fact, we launched a video just earlier this week of our review of Get Metrics, which is an app where you can, train yourself wherever you are anywhere in the world and get a whole bunch of data on your playing performance. This is part of the mega trend in football. We've covered it in the past. The videos playing, okay. There we go. This is part of the mega trend in football that we've seen. But anyway, point being that there's been a lot of action in the personal base, where people get trained by themselves, amateurs, grassroots football, and Catapult is jumping in on that trend. It would seem. That is story number 2. Number 3 is another interesting story where the PGA Tour actually launched their the PGA Tour launches their own AR app. Yeah, this is only for iOS devices. Basically, what the app does is, while this loads, is that it gives you the option. Yeah, I have some IBM today. But yeah, what is the PGA or AR app, which is recently been launched? It's a free augmented reality app that offers the most unique experience. Of course, anything related to AR, that's what we talk about. But it's only for iOS, as you can see here. But basically, what you can do is once you install the app on any service, as it says there, kitchen counter, coffee table, whatever, you can project a particular hole. Now, they don't have too many. I think they have only about 6 or 7. There's number 7 at Dapper Beach, number 6 at Bay Hill, so on and so forth, at different championships. Now, you as a user of the app can project, it says 6 different tournament locations. So you can project the hole as exactly shown in the image here. You can project the hole onto your table, onto the surface, and see it's a 3D version of that hole. So you can see it from different angles, get a whole bunch of interesting points of view of that hole. And not only that, you can actually follow, then you can select players and compare them. You select up to 4 players, you compare their shots on that hole, or if there is a tournament going on live, you can watch people playing through that hole. So you can see how who's lining up, who's in the tee box, where different balls have landed, who's up to chip, who's up to putt, etc. And it gives you details of the greens, the sand traps, etc., etc. It's an interesting bit of AR, it looks like. The PGA Tour getting closer to more interesting fan engagement solutions. I think it's a good move by them, and I'm curious to check it out, which I haven't done yet, but maybe after today. That is story number 3. We're motoring along today because I actually have a couple of quick stories that I want to talk about. And this is not related to Cristiano Ronaldo going to Man City. But I'll get over it. Okay, on to another important story. This is a big one, actually. We covered Fanatics last week and what they were doing with their latest rounds of funding, which they raised $300 million to start the year at around a $12 billion valuation. They raised another $325 million at an $18 billion valuation that was just a few months ago. And we wondered, where is all this money going? How are they able to raise so much money in such a short span of time at a valuation that was jumping so quickly? Well, last week we spoke about in our top story that Fanatics was launching, getting into betting, right? They have 80 million customers who they are going to launch some sort of betting platform for. Betting is obviously huge, super topical in the US sports market. No surprise to see Fanatics jump in on that trend. So, your favorite sports jersey or whatever you want and place a bet, right? But now they're up to more. Fanatics apparently has put Tops maybe out of business, but they have replaced Tops as the trading card partner for the MLB, a deal that Tops had for 70 plus years. Yeah, insane amount of time. Um, and they will, yeah, it's 70-year relationship Tops have with MLB. And not only that, I mean, I think it's going to mean that the Tops, which had their SPAC, the Tops are actually planning to IPO later this year, but that might fall through as well. And the more I'm reading about the story, uses its $1 billion SPAC. So they were not going to IPO with this on the back of the confidence of the MLB deal, that in the way of collectibles has become such a big thing. But not anymore. It would seem lots of stories saying that Tops had no idea that the MLB was talking to Fanatics, and this deal has many implications as well. Coming back to it, not only is the Fanatics ousted Tops, they've also ousted Panini as the trading partner for the NBA and NFL. Now, I should say that all of these deals are not starting right now. I think the Tops deal, Tops' existing deal runs to 2025. The NBA agreement also to 2025, and NFL is through 26. So Fanatics is going to start its own collectibles line for all of these major leagues only at the end of their respective contracts. But this is huge. Apparently, Fanatics has paid a lot of money to each of these deals. No surprises. I mean, it would take a lot to top the existing deals. Top apparently paid 20 million to the PGA Players Association. As last year, the NFLPA received 24 million from Panini, and they have such long relationships. So the fact that Fanatics is seemingly quite easily outbid these guys must be they're paying top dollar to the respective leagues. What does that mean for you as the end user? Well, you can expect some serious innovation. I would expect Fanatics is going to do a bunch of things. There has to be some sort of NFT play. It must be in there somewhere. I mean, a lot of these companies have their NFT deals well in place, but Fanatics will have worked that in, or at least good versions of digital collectibles. But apart from that, clearly Fanatics will integrate it into their existing offering. I mean, they're going in betting, they're going in trading cards, they're clearly getting more close to financial transactions, which was already their content, right? They were an e-commerce company at the core. So they're getting closer and closer to financial transactions of different types that a sports fan makes. So interesting to see where Fanatics goes, and also I'm curious to see where Tops goes or where Panini goes, where these businesses end up in a few months' time. Will make for interesting viewing. Now, my top story of the day. Give me a second while I pull it up. Fortunate, or maybe fortunate, I don't know, depending on your perspective, that Ben is not here to talk about this story because it is, of course, his favorite topic, which is NFTs. Dapper Labs has just announced a couple of days ago, let's take a second for this page to load, but Dapper Labs has announced just a couple of days ago that they will launch NFTs for LaLiga and for the WNBA. Dapper Labs, of course, are NBA Top Shot, the biggest NFT play out there, certainly in the sports world. Yeah, just a second for this page to load. But Yeah, it seems like Dapper has got a major deal which it has struck with LaLiga. This deal will go out in 2022, apparently. Um, they also have a deal going out with. They also have a deal going out with WNBA. As you can see, WNBA, NBA Top Shot added WNBA to their portfolio. This also happened earlier this week. Pull up the Liga news. Second. Yeah, I'm looking for a story to show you. But yeah, I mean, they've already announced the partnership with LaLiga that will go live in 2022, and the WNBA deal will also go live next year. Why is this important? Well, you can imagine that there will be a lot of buzz. Will, yeah, there we go. Story goes. Will La Liga manage to replicate the form of NBA Top Shot? Be in the same league. I mean, NBA Top Shot is 700 million in transactions. Also, they have been on the way down. There's been a lot of talk for cooling off in the sports NFT space. We recently had Real Fever. I don't know if you've seen them, but that's basically run by Jorge Mendes, Cristiano Ronaldo. But Cristiano Ronaldo's agent Jorge Mendes, who has signed up a bunch of Portuguese players, they launched their NFT Real Fever, which apparently the launch is quite successful. That's what the PR says. But theirs came out, but there has been a cooling off in general. So I don't know about the timing of this deal, but it is a big one. I mean, NBA Top Shot, Dapper Labs, whatever they do is looked at with a lot of curiosity, with a lot of eyeballs. These will be available worldwide, as you can see. There will be revenue share, as is in their previous agreement. All of the top leagues, top flight clubs, including Barcelona and Real Madrid, are going to be represented on the platform. This is an important fact because, as you know, La Liga has gone head-to-head with Barcelona and Real Madrid in recent times of contraction. But for this transaction, it seems like, I mean, it's a no-brainer. They have to stick together. So you'll see all of the big names and all of the big players. Maybe you'll see Mbappe. Mbappe is an NFT in a Real Madrid white shirt. NBA Top Shot says 700 million transactions, and they're raising a new funding round at a $7.5 billion valuation. So they're on top for sure. Coming back to the WNBA story, yeah, I mean, again, it basically goes to say that this will be out. They always knew that they were going to do something for the WNBA. It just means that they're going to something pretty soon. Yeah, but basically that is it from this show. We went off right. If you enjoyed the show, yeah, somebody's dropping me a chat. Hey, Samir, thanks so much for the kind word. Hope you enjoyed the news. I mean, there's a lot to go through. Nifty Sports is where you can catch the latest in from the world of NFTs. You'll see the implications or more news exact from the Dapper Labs deal for sure. That's one. Make sure to check out our YouTube channel, Hello SportsTech. I showed you the link to our latest video. Make sure you go check that out. You can see Ben and me going at it and me kind of like finessing me with my footballing skills. You'll enjoy that one. Get Metrics was the app that we reviewed. And yeah, follow us on all our social media handles as well. Meanwhile, I will go and cry myself to sleep if Ronaldo actually signs for Man City. I don't know how I'm going to recover from this one. Mbappe to Madrid, Messi to Paris, Ronaldo, all three moving in one transfer window. Kane is not moving. Pogba might move. Oh God, my head is going to explode. Yeah, I need to calm down. Guys, I'll see you next week. Cheers.